Hi. I don't know why fucking that seems to break it every time. Hi, Super Nerd. Let me fucking destroy sound. Yes. And then let me pause this. And then let me... I don't know why first alert always seems to break it. It's weird, but it's better to get it out of the way. There's that. And then capture this. Okay. This. And then we should theoretically be good. Oh my goodness. Why? Oh, why? Wait. Can you guys hear that? Because I can't. Sweet Lord. Can you guys hear that? 'Cause I can't. Oh yeah, I can't hear anything. Great. Oh wait, that's because it's not on. It's not on. Oh wait. Monitor output. It's not on. It's not on. Uh-oh. Echoes. Okay. We're good now. But we're not going to listen to this the whole time. We're going to listen to Peach's Castle. Yeah. I got things to do. So we're doing them on stream. Specifically right now I'm doing a character portrait. And then we have to do in between to that one fucking scene we did. For so long. Because the work never ends. Never. Never, ever, ever. And honestly, I'm having a real hard time working on school stuff outside of stream. So, kind of, I'm left with no choice but to bog you guys down with this. I'm so sorry. I need a thicker pen. This pen is not thick enough. What was I thinking of? Yeah, this is a character. This is a character portrait for an animation history class where we have to design our character over the course of the class in a bunch of different ways. This is actually the I wish to reject school and return to monk. Well, I really can't argue against that plan still. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, that's the perfect plan. I don't think... Well, reject anime. Return to and a monk. Hi, Red Mage. Red Mage, were you in a Fawn stream too, or no? I don't care if people are doing twosies, double fisting as I like to call it, but I can't remember if I saw you there or not. Alphon does good work, and apparently is a very good gamer to have 100% a fucking Metal Gear. I was binging completionist videos this weekend for multiple reasons, and I've checked. Gerard hasn't done any MGSs. I didn't go to say. That's fine. You may or may not at your leisure. I won't pressure you. But, yeah, Gerard hasn't completed any Metal Gears. And I can guess why. I can absolutely guess why. So, I feel like some people want to see that man suffer, but Gerard's such a cheery fellow. I'd never want to ask him to play a game I know will make him suffer. I want him to play Epic Mickey. I feel like he'd have a decently fine time with that. He'd probably knock it out in the minimum. You only need like, what is it? 2 playthroughs to 100% it. And it's a decently fun and easy time, so. I think he'd enjoy it. I understand though that's not top of his list. I've been working really heavily on my game lately. On the game I am making. It's going okay so far. I will say right now is kind of a boring part of development. I'm literally just making a town, which is currently empty. It has one joke. I need to be offline today. Drawing hands with loud music. Sorry, I only have quiet music here, and I'm pretty good at drawing hands already, so I don't want to brag about that. It's just everyone's like, hands are hard. And I was like, I have this. I think it really helps to see, worth bragging about, yeah. I think it really helps to see just hand, like, I mean, if you look up like a mechanical hand, it's literally the same thing. I draw mechanical hands by just leaving all the sketch lines in, basically. So maybe if someone has trouble drawing hands, invest in a figure. You know the kind, beige, made out of wood, screwed together, posable. Classic art figure stuff. Classic mannequin looking ass things. But yeah. I usually enjoy drawing hands. They're complex enough, but also simple enough that I'm just like, well, this is a pretty fun part. Put it in a neat pose. Make sure everything looks right. It definitely can be hard when you just fuck up one finger. Because then you try and draw it a different way, and you're like, no, it still looks weird. That's still a weird finger. You can also just go full rubber hose and... Gold! Not only is it gold, it's gold with her name back. Hi, Gold. Everyone's favorite Australian. Right next to Steve Irwin and Auntie Donna. And Randy Feltface. I don't think... Is Randy... I wish Randy Feltface was more popular. I want to say he's as popular as Auntie Donna, but Auntie Donna has a Netflix show. Randy doesn't have a Netflix show. Unfortunate. He is on their Netflix show, though. So does that count for something? Maybe they just know each other through the Australian fucking comedians club. Dun, 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 dun. Dun. I'm as like this Steve Irwin. I mean, dang it, I've never met someone who says they don't like Gold or Steve Irwin. So yeah, you're up there. When I meet someone like that, who specifically dislikes one or both, I'll let you know. But that's yet to happen. I was thinking of, since we're doing school assignments, I just phoned one in the other day. Like, I've been doing things, other schoolwork, work, stream, games, blah, blah, blah. And one kind of fell by the wayside. And it was literally like, it was one of those, no, group of people on the internet. Yeah. And I feel like you're trying to skew the data for some reason, Gold. But regardless, the assignment already required a bare amount of effort. Like, literally the minimum. He was like, give me anything, and you pass. And usually I'll do, decent. I did the minimum. I guarantee you, when he looks at what I turned in, he will be like, well, I asked for the minimum. So this can't possibly be on you. If I didn't have a scholarship, I would just be going through college with C's. But unfortunately, unfortunately, I do in fact depend on being a decent student. I was gonna say good student, but that'd be a lie. I'm antisocial and I know better students than myself. Like, it's a small pool and I'm still bottom of the barrel. What was I thinking of? I forget. I was be chilling. Damn it! I remembered something I have to do on Wednesday. I should probably set a reminder for that. Because it's a different assignment. And you want to know something? Can we be honest with ourselves? If I don't... What is it? If I don't set a reminder, my mind will block out that I have to do the assignment. Because I don't want to do it. My mind will be like, it's an off day! I have spring break next week, so... Which a lot of people don't. Which I have to say, schools, you already have a pretty bad reputation. American schools, looking at you. I'm not sure how schools in other countries get along. I'm sure some of them are fine. Did you really have to be like, you know what? Not only are some of us going to open despite COVID worries, but also, since we are still acknowledging COVID exists, we're going to make sure spring break doesn't happen so that you guys can't get COVID. And if what I said there just sounded confusing, then yeah. Wowzers. Luckily my school is filled with artists. And, you know, artists aren't smart most of the time, but we do tend to have some common sense. So, yeah, loop through it all. Stealth! We should play Pokemon and Smash. Actually, I have a junior film to work on. If you think spring break next week is gonna... What was I thinking of? Is gonna slow down me working on school stuff on stream, you're unfortunately incredibly wrong. If anything, I need to work harder on spring break on stream. I'm debating whether or not I should turn these streams in as part of my junior film. Because usually it'll be like, do you have anything for it? Anything extra to come with the film? And I could be like, well, I have like a dozen hours of me talking and working on it. Either make a new team or fight me with your... What is it? What was I thinking of? Or fight me with the team we fought with. Also, hey out there. I don't think bar prep midterm is rough. I'm sorry. I don't understand what you said still. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't been in regular school for a hot minute. I don't mean to be like, ooh, ootsie la-di-da art school, but like, midterms basically boil down to you have a project, you turn it in, the teacher criticizes you for it, then you get a grade. Usually a good one. As long as, you know, they can criticize you all you want, but heck, if you did it. So yeah. I can relate to very basic school things, but my brain autocorrected to Barpa. For some reason I thought Stealth was talking about exercise. like bar prep, and he's doing some pull-ups. Dun dun dun. Also, I'll say this. Wait. Yeah, no, it's sad. They got rid of the pillow too. I'm so upset. I'm so upset. There's so little we can all agree on the internet. But I thought Barry's community, much like myself, had decided if there was one emote that would stay, if there was one single emote from the earliest days of Barry's streaming that would stay, it would be the pillow. But they got rid of it for the fucking gnome. And the gnome is... I'm sorry. The gnome emote... Barry's gnome emote... Prepare third-year law students for... Hi, Juice! I see. Hi, Nivdy! Oh my gosh, friends are coming in. And... evidence. Hey! Stealth. I bet the impeachment part is kind of looking... you know... like it's not worth it right now, huh? Political joke. Because we did that twice. And nothing happened. Anyway. What was I thinking of? Oh yeah. So two things. A thought and a follow-up thought. Also, Gold, I have a question for you. If I hold up the peace sign like that, do you recognize it as offensive? This just occurred to me. Let me ask Juice this, and then I'll talk about the other thing later, because it's mildly relevant throughout my entire stream. Also, this might be a longer stream, just because I want to get... I have this to do, and then also I... Did I say Gold or Juice? Because when I was talking about the peace sign, I meant to Gold. Does Gold Rush... Nani? Well, you see, I can explain... congrats, Nifty! I don't. I'm lucky. I'm lucky if I get paid for the job, my day job. Let alone art or Twitch. I don't find it offensive. Okay. Because I had learned that, like, a peace sign, kind of like this, is offensive, is, like, basically the middle finger. A back peace sign on its own isn't offensive in any way. Okay, is a front-facing peace sign offensive? Because I learned a while ago that was offensive to, like, England. That's kind of a middle finger in England and Australia, and I threw up a peace sign to my boss on one of the first days I worked 3 years ago, and he's Australian, and he was like, "That's the middle finger," and I'm like, "It's not." Amazing. So yeah, I just wanted to tell that story. I flipped off my boss, and he chuckled. No, like I didn't mean it that way. Sorry. Thank you for the job. What was I thinking of? Oh yeah. Back. But it's more about the action of the... Okay. I don't think he threw it up in the air. I think it was already hanging there when he's talking to me, but you know. But oh yeah, I was gonna say, one of my teachers, and I'm very thankful for this, is a sucker for the complicated... More of a British thing, fair enough. But Gold, then you cover both of those bases. Man, Gold is knowledgeable and worldly. But anyway, he's a sucker. My one teacher is a sucker for the overly complicated, dumb way I do things, which is great for me. I have heard that. I think it's dumb. I think if anyone takes that seriously, it's best to ignore them. But yeah, My teacher is like, hey, you do things on paper instead of the computer all the time, literally for everything. And that gives it a texture that most people try to filter in. And you don't have to, because it's just how you work. And that's a good thing. And I'm like, thank you. I hope a future boss sees it like that. Isn't offensive. Yeah. Well, that's what I figured. But bringing that back around to a different topic, because this is a two-pointed thing I was talking about. Oh yeah, I'm working on a game, going well. Mentioned it earlier. Did some of it on chat. None of what I work. It's been offensive. It's just in a different culture. None of what I worked on stream that one time made it in. By the way, for multiple reasons. But my part of my idea for the part, I mean, the middle finger is just a thing. I don't get that either. Part of my idea for the game, aesthetically, is that it's gonna be GB style, you know, Game Boy Color looking. But I want an animated intro scene, and I kind of want like an all-out attack to play whenever you beat a boss that is also fully paper animated. Which I think will help give it its charm. When I finished the first dungeon, which I started replaying Link to the Past on Switch the other day because I realized I've only ever beaten that game once. Beaten Link Between Worlds plenty of times, but only played Link to the Past on the SNES, which I should do on stream at one point. But it occurred to me, I was like, man, I like the dungeons in Link to the Past. They look cool, and their puzzles are not as annoying as the 3D puzzles. And I was like, maybe instead of having dungeons like Earthbound, good boy Cahill, no you. Oh, it's a bit too many pieces. I would say, I did see you say that. I would say, I think that one in particular, I think I'm going to keep for right now. If everything ends up square, then yeah, I'm going to have to go over all of them. Right now, would y'all like to see something? Yeah, it looks, I think it's about what I intended. It's supposed to be a junk pile. Excuse me for a minute. Sure. Wait. Begin. My peepers are ready. Window capture. Window capture. Let me put up the pause screen, because this is probably going to look... Wait, I can't pull up this pause screen, because then I won't be able to see anything. Epic... Nope. Hunt. Give me a second. Google. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Wait, let's resize it so y'all can see everything. Chat disappeared. Ready? It's a lad. It's a lad. These are the enemies so far. 2 of them are robot. 1 of them nature. Wow. And good boy. Yeah. I'm pretty proud of him. He's cute. So, what was I thinking of? I have to figure out how to delete that, yes. No, delete window capture. So I have to figure out how to program this, but he's one of the first enemies you meet that is of the nature type, because I'm planning to have different types. I'm trying to like integrate Pokemon type advantages into a more traditional RPG. But anyway, he's a nature type monster, and he's one you actually fight. But I'm planning to have a nature type one, and it's called just a regular dog. And when it shows up, it's a dog. And I need to figure out how to program it, but I want it to be so that when you attack it, the characters just go, we're not going to kill a regular fucking dog, are you out of your mind? And then the battle ends, and you get 0 XP. That's going to take a bit of working to make, but I think it'll be worth it. That wasn't. Or because the owner was racist. Wow. The owner is a dog. is as famous as Steve. Yes, they are. I believe so. Gold, did you leave? Did you leave to go talk to Steve Irwin? Or I guess his wife and children? Is that insensitive? I watched Steve Irwin when I was a kid. I'm still here. Pat back, Gold. Give Gold pats. I wish I could have. Yeah, that'd be neat. Also, just as a reminder, the Discord link is working more properly now. So if you want to join the Cahill Discord, go ahead and click that. I bring it up because recently I made a room to help with my social anxiety. It's a room called the Studio Fight Ring. The idea being that it's an underground fighting ring in my animation studio. And if you want to play a multiplayer game with someone, less cooperatively and more, fighting them, then you can just post in there. And it's chill. And whether or not people get back to you is, it's up to them. No pressure on you or them. And obviously, if you don't have social anxiety like I do, then you can just message them. But yeah, I bring it up just because there's like only 12 people in the Discord so far. Which, like, listen, I didn't want a Discord until I was getting pretty regular chatters, but I was kind of seeing some stagnant in growth as well as just regular viewership. So I was like, what can I do? And literally everyone was like, you need a Discord to make stream announcements. And I was like, dang it, whatever. I'll take some pressure off myself. I would like it to grow some more. We also have a venting room, a psychiatry office, even though I'm not licensed and you shouldn't take psychiatric advice from it. Just if you need a place to scream, go post in there and be like, man, life sucks. And it's like, oh, okay. And then everyone's response can just be like, I hear ya. I do my best. Okay. That's done. I'll clean it up in a minute. Well, no, I'll clean it up now. Dun, 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 dun. Also, what was I thinking of? After Pokemon Gold, after Pokemon Friend is done, do y'all want me to play Final Fantasy 1 or a return to a very special kind of Bloodborne playthrough? I'll say this. I probably won't beat Bloodborne all in one go. I'll probably take some breaks. But Final Fantasy I'd probably beat in a one after another. Okay, that's done. Also, yeah, here are the different versions. That's so basically it's like through the ages. This is Rubber Hose. This is Windsor McKay. This is like supposed to be the original one. Problem is, I style all my characters as Rubber Hose by default. So when he was like Rubber Hose and an original one, I'm like, oops, uh-oh, oops, uh-oh. Cahill made a fucky wucky in how he designs his characters. Okay. Let's go through the amount of paper. Just the amount of paper I have for a junior. Oops, all Rubber Hose. Yeah. Well, listen. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. For over 70 years. Now let me say one thing. There are some broken things about Rubber Hose cartoons. Don't get me wrong. It's not hard to find them. In fact, for the very class I did that project for just now, we had a racist day. Where we basically just went through every bad old cartoon that was relevant to the subjects we were studying. Did I mention this on stream? This was last week. I don't think I mentioned this on... Yeah, I didn't. Because it was Thursday. So yeah, I didn't mention this on stream. But yeah. So that happened. Nothing troubling in there at all. I love old cartoons. I have to be very selective about the ones that I enjoy. Or else they quickly become... Nope. Kind of like when you're watching something online and then something really fucked up happens. And you're just like, well, time to turn this off. I'm not the only person that happens to, right? I guess, like, the fucking easiest, most relatable way to say it is, like, it's like when you're watching YouTube and, like, a fucking commercial for PragerU comes on. Which I got bad vibe for them from the beginning, but I never stayed around to watch a commercial all the way through, right? And then it turns out, no... Cahill, you were completely right about every assumption you made about that facility. We're not going to keep talking about it. Because it's real bad. Don't think about it. I don't know. I like to make fun of it. I don't know. I try to strike a balance. I try to make things lighthearted on my streams, whatever they may be. Because, like, two podcasts I love listening to are the Super Mega Cast and, Bim Bam, my brother and me. And my brother and me is pretty dang safe. Like, sure, they get into some weird sexual stuff occasionally, as in, like, the questions they're sent in, or Yahoos, but they're not, like, they don't hit on hard topics. Fucking... Super Mega Cast is just like, well, whatever is on their mind as of late, and if that's something real messed up in the world, can't be helped. So you're kind of taking your chances there. I would like to strike a balance where it's like, hey, we can talk about some pretty weird, messed up things, but also I'm not going to get too serious. Because as much as they joke about the stuff, still, you know, they still get serious on occasion. Dun, dun, but yeah, I have to do in-betweens. Raise your hand if you know what Class, I want to see your hands. Does anyone know what an in-between is? I'm actually not even doing in-betweens the traditional way. So... No, because you taught me. Oh yeah, I did. We had this lesson. Well, I'm proud of you, class. You've already graduated. See ya. Sorry, I have depression and my mind is going. See? A balance. That was an awful thing to talk about, but it was funny, I hope. Do I get a useless paper? Hey! You didn't fucking pay thousands of dollars for this. So no paper for you. I was thinking a way to make money, if streaming takes off more, is to make... Yes, I know. Is to make full cartoons on stream, and then auction off some of the frames from the cartoon. Because animation cells are a collector's item, but only so many of those will ever exist. because people don't like to do traditional animation anymore. So, you know, fun. Okay, this is done. Bum, 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 bada, bum, bum. 1.5, 2.5. Dun, 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 dun. Listen. Here at Cahill University, we teach you incredibly useless knowledge. And you don't get anything for it, except this crummy shirt. I listened to a man talk for a couple hours, and all I got was this crummy shirt. But yeah, we're doing these because the original thing, too short. Far too short. Far, far too short. Unfortunately. I'll burst into tears. I will. Give Juice the magic paper roll or cry. Don't fuck with me. I'll cry. I'll do it. You think this is some kind of game? Think this is some kind of fucking gaff? No. I will literally cry right here. No, please, I don't need magic paper. I don't know why you would want a paper from my school anyway. No one will give you won't get a job for it. That's for sure. Trust me, I go to an art college now, a real one, and I'm not going to get a job for it. It's just kind of a way to extend out before I have to, you know, try and get another other job. Create an ocean with my eye. Fucking sob, weep even. Noah's Ark will have been prepared for this. Bootstrap paradox. Stealth starts crying and floods the earth, so we decide, you know what? We'll send him back to the times of Noah's Ark so that it doesn't endanger life as much. But Noah isn't building an ark, so we tell him to. But who came up with the idea to build the ark? Because we heard it from the story, but apparently it didn't exist until we made it. Bootstrap paradox. I want to talk to Gam about that. I don't think Gam likes the 12th Doctor, but that was the last Doctor who I watched, and that intro is maybe my favorite thing they did. Also, to get into Cahill, there's very low requirements to get into my school of nothing. One of the requirements is that you have to have seen the I Got This New Anime Plot video. So that when I reference it, I don't look like the worst person in the world. Because that's the reality, right? Is like... if you know that video, then you're like, haha, yeah, that video is funny. If you don't know that video, then it's just going to come across like I'm talking about big bahangas and using the worst imaginable language to say so. Uh-oh, Automod caught... Oh. Okay, Automod caught fucking and gay. I'm... Wow, Automod. Didn't know you were like that. Automod's awful. I want to take a server and see how many... I want to take a survey and see how many... Also, if you want... Gam's asleep. I don't know. If you want Gam to talk to me about magical time doctors, go ask him. You ask him about it. Be like, Gam, what do you think of this specific Doctor Who thing? And that'll be the end of the conversation. Listen, I've talked about this before. I'd love to talk to those guys more. It's not gonna happen. Go wake up Gam. Well, I mean, Gam's probably awake now, but he doesn't want to talk to me. Is kind of the larger... I have one Australian friend already. I'm doing okay. The nation of Australia is within my grasp. Thanks to Golder... I was about to ask Gold. Like, you know. I don't want to... first off, there's not a good way to phrase this question, so I'll just say it like this. I was going to ask Gold why I don't know their name. And then it occurred to me maybe one reason is just because even if I knew Gold's name, they would prefer to be just called Gold. So, why would that matter? Gold D. Rush. I came up with Aubrey. So let me just buy a plane ticket, yeah. This is going to seem like a dumb question, but do people regularly fly across Australia? Now wait. Before you're like, Keho, you idiot, Australia's massive. Of course they do. What I'm saying is, as I know it, Australia is like is like a line of cities surrounding a deserty center. So what I'm saying is, do people... Well, I haven't... So that's fair. Hey! Gold. Just to be clear, if that's all you need to say. I just want to make sure it's not like we missed, you know. I definitely want to make sure it's not because I missed it. But I was going to say... But let me finish my Australia thing before I look completely dumb. What I'm saying is, let's say you have to drive somewhere, or just go somewhere in Australia that is of reasonable driving distance. Not short, but like a couple hours and you could drive there. But it's all through the outback, all through desert, all through the backwoods. Do most people fly? Would most people try and take a short flight as opposed to driving there, or does it not really matter? I guess it's a money thing. So. But I guess what would be the preference? Do people try not to drive through the wasteland? I don't want to say wasteland. The outback's pretty dang neato. Compared to some... listen. If one desert had to... Is it cutie? It's pretty cute. The outback is pretty cute. If I had to choose one desert to be converted into lush green rainforest to help save the world from boomers, and it was between the Sahara or the outback, I choose Sahara. Literally no question. I wouldn't even need to think about it. The Sahara is pretty neat, but the outback, I think, is so stupid large. Not even cover a core. So yeah, that kind of answers my question. Like, it's not even worth doing that because you wouldn't get anywhere. I didn't want to come across as like, oh, do you need to fly in Australia? Like, yes, of course you do. You wouldn't drive to California from New Jersey, so you wouldn't cross Australia in a similar fashion. But I was just wondering, based on, you know, just basically any length. Mostly sand, yeah. It's just kind of whatever, but 40 degrees Celsius. Yeah. Like, there's, like, listen. If I was in the Sahara, I'd be afraid of dying from a lack of hydration, right? But if I was in the outback, I think I'd be scared of wildlife. I'd be like, things live here. Chances are they'll kill me. Also, I would love to dive with some Australia wildlife. It's not my top dangerous wildlife to go dive with, but they're up there. I'd love to see a blue-ringed octopus. Love to see some sharks. Queen of the pirates. This is an important distinction. What was I thinking of? I want to make sure this is right. Is this the right island I'm thinking of? Yeah, it is. I want to go diving in Guadalupe Island. Guadalupe Island is a small rock jutting from the sea. It's confidential. But Guadalupe Island is a small rock jutting from the sea. It's right off its beaches is 600 feet deep. And you know what lives in 600 deep water? The largest great white sharks on the fucking earth. And man, I'd love to see those. I'm a big shark. I love sharks. Yeah. Literally multiple sharks carrying the mantra largest shark in the world have been found specifically at that island. Seen up to that point. Yeah. Well, okay. I would like to say I kind of can guess what the spoiler is now, but fair enough. But yeah, the great white. I get most of this from Shark Week. I'll admit that. But the great white sharks on Guadalupe Island are so big that they have footage of a seal just coming up to one, booping it on the nose, and then swimming away. And the shark doesn't care because it's too big to make eating seals worth it. A whole ass seal, and it's like, that's an appetizer. I am looking for a meal today. I don't think eating me would come across that shark's mind. It would look at me and be like, well, that's a twig. What could I get from that? There's a gender. Yeah. Y'all know knight is a gender neutral term. Knight and sir. If you are knighted, no matter your gender, you are then sir whatever the fuck. Unless, I guess, whoever's knighting you specifies otherwise. Because they're the one giving you the title. But yeah. I think that's interesting. Obviously, part of why that is because of very bad reasons, in that women were not traditionally united, so they didn't really need to think of different terms. So, but I still think it's neat. Because, like, hey, doesn't matter what you're knighted. We're all the same here. All knights. Honorable. Honorable knights of wherever the fuck we're from. But, I don't know. I'd be king of the power. Listen. I feel like I've talked about this before. Normally, someone saying, hey, would you like to watch this thing you could spend your entire life watching? It's all about pirates. My answer would be like, yes. But One Piece has almost nothing about pirates that I enjoy about pirates. So go Gawain. Imagine Sir Gawain the Walk Johnson. Gawain the Walk Johnson. So Gawain the Walk Johnson. Can I get some Cahill Uwu 7s and chat? Cahill 1. Is it Cahill 1 Uwu 7 or Cahill 1 Uwu? So what did I name this fucking thing? It is Cahill 1 Uwu 7. Also, man, I really wish people could get that Yangry emote, but I'm really not about to blame anyone for not dropping $50 on my ass. Like, yeah. Like, the only reason I have more than one Barry Bitmote is because I have a very unhealthy relationship with Twitch, which has become some healthy relationships. But that doesn't change that at one point it was more unhealthy than it is now. However, One Piece is my favorite anime. That's fair. That's fair stuff. Oh, counterpoint. JoJo is my favorite anime, and JoJo has nothing to do with fucking anything. JoJo is its own beast. So, you know. I like JoJo. Caffeine in order not to die. Yeah. I drink a lot of VA energy drinks. It occurs to me I need to take a chill pill a bit. Problem is, I have a hard time getting and keeping my energy up. So, a tasty drink that provides energy. JoJo is fun. JoJo is good. JoJo isn't necessarily all the best writing, but I think more writers could honestly learn stuff from JoJo. Mostly in the form of its situations. Like, JoJo fights aren't really fights for the most part. They're usually usually have a puzzle aspect to it. Like, I wish Superman comics had more JoJo in them. Like, if there was a thing where it's like, no, Superman, no matter how strong Superman is, he can't punch this. Good. Yeah. I'm a puzzle. You are a cutie, Stitch. Everyone in chat right now, dang, you're cute. Also, I don't know, they're probably not listening now. I want to do a stream with my partner. I'm still hashing out the specifics. I'll post in the Discord if it's at a specific time or whatever. But I just want to play a game with them. If they don't want to do that, okay, he has no weaknesses except just cuteness. Do y'all want to hear my fucking OC JoJo stan, which I made a design for at one point, but I never really finished it, so I didn't post it. Yes. Okay. So, my OC JoJo stan is called LA Devotee, after the Panic of the Disco song, because I listened to that in high school a lot. The stan's ability is that it has a couple minutes, like 5 minutes. Your Josie, that's a good name actually. That's good, pretty good tell. The stand's power is that it has 5 minutes of film it can use. And with this 5 minutes of film, it can copy any ability it sees. So, for example, if it wanted to copy Star Platinum's time skipping ability, that would take almost no film at all. But if it wanted to copy a longer ability from a different stand, it would take roughly how long it takes for that ability to activate or work. The stand is able to reverse events as they happen, but that requires erasing all of the film. And without any ability copied, it's a pretty useless stand. So I was pretty proud of that very complex power. Like, yeah. Like, that, I would say that's not, like, an unbeatable, overpowered stand. It's a situational stand, and you could pretty easily outsmart me to make it weak again. I designed it with some kryptonites. I don't know. I do. Here's the thing. We all talk about. Oh wait. Situational, correct. A stitch in time saves 9. I don't know what that saying means. I do want to legitimately incorporate some JoJo stuff beyond just like art and aesthetic into my series, into the man who can do anything, because the thing about it is that make it the big bad of the season. I wouldn't want it to be the big bad, but yeah, Iraqi loves time. I don't know. I think it could be a hero stand and still be like, you know, like for example, like to give you an example of how it's not like totally broken, like sheer heart attack, the unstoppable stand, as many people know it. If it wanted to copy its ability, it would have to wait for it to explode. So therefore, if my stand used its ability on sheer heart attack and it didn't explode for 5 minutes, which is completely possible, then I wouldn't have any abilities. The stand would still be useless. It'd be like, well, I observed nothing. I got nothing from this, and I'm still disappointed. So yeah, other thing, but I don't know. I talk a lot about Alex and how I want to write and do stuff with his stuff. Which, by the way, he's not going to appear in my game. I considered that. He's not going to. I was like, I don't think Alex should premiere in a game. But anyway, what was I thinking of? Dang it. Let me think for a minute. Oh yeah. But I want to incorporate some of the complex fights from JoJo into the man who can't do anything, because I think that's interesting. I think if you put someone whose only limit is their imagination into a situation which requires some form of outsmarting, then you're going to end up with a more interesting fight than them punching. Copy it. I think it could copy the suit's abilities, but I don't think it would be able to. Good question, Gold. Thank you. But no, I don't think it could copy I don't think it would become a suit. I think it could have White Album snow powers, or it could swim through solid objects like Oasis. My mom's vacuuming. Isn't that great? But I don't think it would. Also, did it end? No. But it almost did. It was hard to hear because my mom's vacuuming. Fun. I think it copied the abilities of the suit, but I think it would. I wouldn't be able to wear the suit. The stand would just get the ability. Yeah. Vacuum ASMR. Is that really what it is? I didn't think ASMR was that blunt. Oswald just being a bun. Let me look something up about bunnies. Bunnies being a loaf. about everything you need to know. You guess what a bunny loaf is? Rabbits have very expressive behaviors to show you when they are happy, content, irritated, or frightened. In fact, learning to understand your rabbit is as simple as learning to understand rabbit body language. The bun loaf. A bunny loaf is one of the most common body positions you'll see in a rabbit. A bun loaf describes the position when your rabbit tucks his legs under himself, usually with a drooped head, relaxed ears, with eyes half open. That's literally what Oswald is doing right now. Comfortable and sleepy. Aww. Bun loaf. I see some stupid toy designs. Always. Mowing the lawn outside my window at 8 p.m. Yeah. Sorry about that. Also, can I chat, I don't want to come down on you. Oh, it's Nifty's art. I thought you were just sending me a shitpost, Nifty. Aw, those are cute though. But anyway, what was I thinking of? I don't want to bring the hammer too hard on you, chat. In the last Pokemon Gold episode, they're fun. They're fun to look at. But in the last Pokemon Gold episode, someone was like, "Hey, the audio's a little weird," and I was like, I think it would just be like, I think it would like be spelled out LADVOT, like an entire acronym. Well, I have unique personalities. That's fine. Not everything needs to be an overly written OC. But dang it. What was I just saying? I forget. Fully forgot. Oh yeah, Pokemon Gold. The audio didn't get better. I was like, hey, tell me if it stays bad or if the audio gets better. And everyone was like, righty-o, Captain. And then you'll never guess what happened with the audio. The music is weird throughout it. Luckily, it's just the music. And actually, it's not even that bad. But I will say, especially in a game like Pokemon when I can save whenever, y'all can be like, hey, Cahill, for the past hour, the music's been wild. Look, we're vibing. I mean, that's fair. It kind of sounded like a remix. Stand is Green Day. In a dark stand for an emo band. What is my favorite stand? I don't know. The Hand, Crazy Diamond. Part 4 has some real good stands. Plus, even Araki is like, yeah, the point of the hand is it's an overpowered stand, and the user's fucking stupid. And it's like, no, Okuyasu doesn't use the hand in a lot of, like, you know, he doesn't use it to solve a lot of puzzles. But at the same time, he knows how to use his stand. This is it's overpowered. Well, yeah, that's actually the case with a lot of later stands. If the condition is right, it's an unbeatable stand. Which then the fight comes down to, okay, time to break out of the condition. That's literally what the first stand fight is in JoJo Leon. Which I tried reading, but what was I thinking of? A, some stuff came up, and B, coffee! Alphonse! Thank you, Alphonse. Oh my goodness. Alphonse, how long have you had that emote? That's an incredibly good emote. If I was not saving, everyone should go sub to Alphonse. If I wasn't saving now, I'd do it myself and gift a bunch of subs. But I'm often saving. How is MGS poops? Also, hi Jen. How's MGS poops for you? Alphonse, that's my rating. Maybe for like T1 a couple months ago. It's pretty good. It's pretty dang good. It's important to me that just poops has been good. It's important that everyone knows this. You finally saved the doctors. I haven't played this MGS. That one stars big. Hey, Alphonse, how are you playing that one? Because that one does star Big Boss, doesn't it? I played 3 MGS games, 3 Peace Walker, and 5, and all those are pretty good games. PPSSPP. I can just punch you real hard. Arbitrary amount of time. Yeah, but it's pretty fun to see what monkey dance they have to do in order to get their stand to work. But I don't know. Listen, this is why I don't call JoJo like good or bad. It's JoJo. If you like JoJo, it's really good because it's literally the only thing like JoJo. But if you don't like JoJo, then you're not gonna like it because once again, it's the only thing like JoJo. So, also, you know what, Alphonse? Thanks for just setting off the raid alert. I like hearing my Ruby alerts. Is that okay? Is it okay I like Ruby? I feel like there is definitely a person in the world who just heard me geek out about JoJo and Ruby and was like, wow, this man has trash taste. Maybe I shouldn't go into the entertainment industry. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to pretend the plot's deep all the time, but the situations are good. The scene and art is good. Are you playing it on a PSP for stream, or could I buy it on, like, PlayStation 4? This is an important answer. Because I am planning to stream MGS at one point. I don't want to be like Barry and make that take 3 years. But, you know, I want to do it. I love Barry. They can't. USP disc because the store is dead. PSP, okay. Well, oops. On the computer. Oh, you're playing on the computer? Okay. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yes. Yeah. Here's the thing. I want to play that game because I'd love to play more Metal Gear. Not sure if I want to buy, like, basically, not a new system, but a whole new device at least. Original, but no means to record the PSP right now. Yeah. I keep looking into how I could capture a 3DS. Because if I'm going to stream 3DS games, I want to play my 3DS. People were already yelling about Heart Gold, but damn it! I have my idiosyncrasies. So far, the way I've learned, the best way I figured out how to do it, is to download a program, which I'd have to do more background checks on. And after the program is downloaded, you then, like, basically kind of have the same program on the thing, on your computer, and then you stream it from your 3DS through the program onto your computer. And honestly, when that's set up, that doesn't sound like too bad of an idea. I just need to figure... If anyone has that, you could use Citra. What's Citra? Let me see 3DS Citra. 3DS Citra. An open source emulator. Yeah, but I don't want to use an emulator. That's what I was saying. I don't wanna. Maybe if I really want to play a 3DS game on stream. I don't want that. I do thank you, Nifty, because if I want to play a 3DS game, that saves me a lot of work. But if I can find a way to play literally just my hard copies of something, then that will be my go-to. Even if it's incredibly complicated. Even if it's so stupid. It's pretty simple. That's fair. I don't know. So certain things about certain kinds of emulation can rub me the wrong way. It's okay if, like, what was it? I don't care if people stream it like that. In fact, I'll usually enjoy things like that. But, like, Monster. It's just an eel. I did this. Let's see. Where is it? Here it is. That's the full thing. That's not its whole body, but that's the point. Also, I didn't design this monster. This is SCP-3000, Object Class Thaw Meal. Special containment procedures. I need to record. If I should just do those. Would y'all donate 173 bits? Make it an eel. It is an eel. Would y'all donate 173 bits if I had a special SCP thing that would read out a random SCP article? And it's made of steel. No. That is that is not true. It's probably made of flesh of some. It's probably made of some kind of eel flesh, and breathes poison. Pretty neat. Oh, you're pretty neat, Alphonse. Is that? Oh my goodness. I go to where Alphonse lives. I say, oh my goodness. I walk around the streets. I'm enjoying the local scenery. And then all of a sudden, in a crowd, I see a man who's surrounded by adoring fans, and I go, oh my goodness. Is that the coffee corner? Is that the Alphonse McSteele coffee corner? You for free. Thank you, Nifty. I'm not sure it'll get approved because SCP writing is a son of a bitch. I've said this before. Famous, not... No, very famous. Incredibly, incredibly famous. SCP boost. I still love SCPs and the community. It's just the fact. It just be the fact that it's not a very... There are more welcoming communities. But... Hands in the... SCP. Like, I wouldn't even say it's necessarily... I mean, I would say it's exclusionary, kind of. You can try. You can get into it. I wouldn't say do that if you have problems with rejection. Because, oof, it won't help. I have an idea for one. Let's hear it. I'm not gonna crush your dream, Nifty, but I'll tell you if they're gonna shoot it down. It's pretty simple. Simple ones can be good. Usually, the biggest thing I kind of got was like, what's the story with this? And then I would get into the story, and they'd be like, okay, but the SCP is bad. And be like, well, thanks. That's a very... It'll be stolen. Oh, okay, then don't. No, I get that. I get it. I get it. Don't stress it. I used to be definitely more careful about my characters being stolen. But at this point, we live in a world where, I don't know. Or if I called out someone for plagiarism of my art, I'd be like, I think their career would end pretty quick. I don't get that much traction. Oh, it's not a character. Yeah. Well, someone did already. I mean, depends. Thing about SCPs is most things have been done already. Which is kind of one reason, like, I think that's one reason why I was like, yeah, I don't think I want to try anymore. Not because it's like bad or anything, but because like things I like in SCP, writing, like they're like, yeah, we have a few of these, and like I want to put my own spin on it, but they're like, not that great, and I'm like, okay, fair enough. I'll stick to my guns that they're always like, yeah, we want good writing on this site, and then they let the fucking Among Us SCP stroll on in. There is a process to writing it for the first time, and then after that, you can basically just kind of start hashing them out. I very rarely got past that first stage, and when I did, I wasn't able to keep it up for very long. I'm slightly uncomfortable. Yeah, no, there are plenty like that. I mean, like, are you sure? Yeah. Once again, nothing against the SCP writer themselves, or even the writing. In fact, I would say the merits to the SCP that, to what they wrote is kind of based around how memey Among Us is right now. That doesn't change the fact that in probably 5 years, even if people are still playing Among Us, like it's kind of like TF2, right? It's like, well, yes, people still play and enjoy TF2. I can tell when they did this, though. Excuse you. Is Mr. When the... Are you sure? Yeah. I'm just saying. At the very least, it's gonna date it pretty heavily. TF2 is dated. Name of the SCP. Yeah, the name of the SCP is When the Imposter is Sus. Which, if nothing else, once again, even if Among Us is around for a very long time after its resurgence, that meme is now. That specific Among Us meme is now. So, there's no getting around that. I would say, what was I thinking of? I'm trying to think. There's two, if I have to like criticize it, and I have no, let me be clear. If somehow the person who is made that is listening to it, literally nothing but my best for getting that on the site and everything. I think you did a real cool job. The problem, I would say the two problems with it is A, it's gonna be dated wicked fast, my man. I imagine people told them that. I think that was probably the first criticism they got. And second thing is like, what was I thinking of? I don't know. Just like it's a very simple SCP with a very short message and a very short story. And like, oh yeah, okay, I remember what I was gonna say. The SCP itself is the idea that this one Among Us thing happens, drives people insane, blah blah blah. That's kind of really simple, and if that's the case with this specific anomaly, then I would argue most memes that get a little out of hand are an anomaly and should be contained by the Foundation. And that's not what happens. We know that because memes still exist. So, like, what was I thinking of? A stone appearing above ground. That I actually learned about this recently. That's why I'm just wondering. So that's kind of like, I did kind of learn this recently. Like, there are many articles that are like, this is Fortnite Ryu is an SCP. Yeah, exactly. Where it's like they're like, this is an anomalous item. This is a weird thing. This isn't a full SCP. This is something we can't explain. Maybe it's just weird. Maybe it's full. It could be an SCP. We don't know, but we're not gonna put it in the database just yet. Plus, there are plenty of other, anomalous organizations in that world. So some of them have things, and even if they're anomalous, even if they could be an SCP, they're not contained. So they don't count. An SCP very specifically refers to a dangerous, possibly mystical item held by the SCP Foundation, and not just a weird thing in general. That's considered an anomaly. Like I said, if I I've been talking up and down about SCPs. If I have to say one good thing about kind of like for example, why I didn't get to write one, it's that they have made this into so much more than what it was at first, and they are very dedicated into making sure that it kind of stays decently well. But it's a weird feeling. So my ass is an SCP? Is it contained by the Foundation? Because if so, Stealth, where the fuck is your ass? The more you know. I mean, you can't just, what are they thinking of? The Foundation labels things as SCPs if they don't fit into normal reality. So I will say, if you take that and apply it across all of fiction, then most things are SCPs. Which, if most things are SCPs, then nothing is. Incredibles. Is your ass uncontainable? Is it are we dealing with a Keter class object? Fucking Keter. Get the MTF in here. I'm a nerd. I'm a dork. I'm just the worst. Man, I suck. I need to stop. Is an isekai an SCP? I guess it kind of depends. Depends on the isekai. Because, I guess if it's like, I was put in another dimension that's kind of like an RPG, then no. I don't think... Typically, the Foundation doesn't consider entire other dimensions SCPs. They just consider them dimensions that they should hide from the rest of the world. But if it's like, I got trapped in my computer, help, then yeah, they could lock that up somewhere. But you do not suck. Oh my goodness. I can't give them chuff for that. My body I can't reject that compliment. My body did. But thank you, Juice. I was mostly joking, but also thank you. Very nice. Also, here's the thing, right? I want Alex with a gay pride flag as an emote. Problem is, the only emote slot we got left is the 250k bit emote. No one's gonna get that, which is unfortunate. So here's what I have to decide: should I replace an emote are entertaining as. How dare you? You suck. All the negative. I see what you did there. I don't know. I would say I'm entertaining to a degree. Train wrecks are entertaining, right? Children watch those. Here's the thing, though. I feel bad about making a Pride Mo a bit emote, but Monsta, talented artist of the Neighborhood Watch, was just announced today they'll be opening up emote commissions. So my question is, should I have them make an emote of Alex? And if so, should it still be the Pride emote? And if so, should that then be the 250k bit emote? Because then I feel like if I have one commissioned, putting it behind a putting it behind a larger wall is a bit more justified, if that makes any sense. Like, hey, I had someone make this. It's not tier 1. I wish I could gift bitmotes like subs, except A, that would make me broke, and B, I just want people to have. I worked hard on the Yang emotes. You can also commission yourself. That doesn't work. I actually lose money in that because of taxes. But what was I thinking of? Yeah. I worked hard on those Yang motes, thinking people would need to spend $10 at most to get one. Turns out, no. No. The second one is $100. And even my most generous patron, dearest Mr. Pigbert, has not ever given me in the entire stream career 100 bits. And he shouldn't. I was about to be like, how long did it take Barry for some of his viewers to reach 100 bits? And it's like, he probably got that day 2. Let's be honest. People throw money at Barry like they're trying to fucking shoot a fly out of the air with pennies. So people probably got 100-bit badges. He didn't. Back in my day, back in the times when Barry started streaming, bit emotes weren't even a thing. I have to accept that, correct? Like money. I mean, he's gonna get, if you have to throw that much money at him, you're gonna get covered in cocaine is the thing. So much cocaine. Cocaine is just all over every U.S. currency. And I'm sure if you collect enough currency, you'll have a reasonable amount of cocaine. Chunky neck. Chunky neck eel. We've discovered a new species of eel, the chunky neck. Dun, dun. This is gonna look pretty. You know what I should just do? We're done doing it like that. We're just gonna... Here's what we're just gonna do. Ready? This is 7. This is 6. Stand back. Watch me now. You're ready to watch me. Ready? Get ready to watch Cahill work his magic. Stand back. Over 10 euros are covered in cocaine, and 500 euro ones were. That's why we retired them. I see. Yeah, but I wish not to receive money from people, so I do not PayPal for them to do so. I've avoided PayPal specifically because of one man. Far too generous for his own good. Ready? Okay, it's this one. Move it back. Wait a minute. Okay, move it forward. Literally move it forward as little as you possibly can. Wait. Okay. Ready? And... Oop. This... Theoretically, this should be fine. Should be fine. I just need to make sure. We might waste a frame doing this. Someone give money to gold? Everyone. Everyone should give money to gold. Pay your tribute! You've broken the law. Pay the quota fine. I have never played an Elder Scrolls game or a Fallout game. And no offense. Sometimes I'm very glad. I get why people really like those games, but also... Horse tilting is fun, though. Yeah, but people... It took till Fallout 76 for people to realize, like, hey, these games are very broken. Agreed. Like gold. Gold, so we agree. We should give money to you. I don't know you need all this money for gold, but I'm happy to help you out. What they promised. I mean, like, yeah, sure. But also, people were like, hey, this game's pretty buggy. And it's like, yes. So you've noted. So you're finally awake. I'm not saying I wouldn't even say, like, don't enjoy those games for what they are. But I am saying, in fact, I'm saying enjoy those games for what they are. Recognize that they are very buggy messes. Most of them. Far from a mile away. I'm only saying this not because I don't think fans of those series don't realize what those games are, but instead because I feel like a lot of reviews were like, this innovative open world experience. And it's like, Breath of the Wild is an innovative open world experience. I played Skyrim and punched a man a couple times, and he forgot about it after I left his house. So, I don't want to compare everything to Breath of the Wild. Obviously, that you shouldn't do that for a lot of reasons. But... I don't... Cyberpunk, as far as I know, has a whole different host of issues, Alphonse. But... yeah. Similar. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, those games have their place in the history of open world game design. But I don't think you should keep making open world games like that. Maybe some people legitimately prefer that, and that's fine. If that's what you like, okay. I'm glad they're still making it. But it's not a new thing every time. And it's definitely a broken way of making the game. Because whether or not you like to admit it, those games are busted. Have an yes. Like I said, if you enjoy those games for what they are, all the power to you. I am more along the line saying, hey, these games get a lot of praise, and to me, they seem like kind of train wrecks. Like when someone's like, man, it's just so immersive and innovative, and I love messing around. And it's like these NPC interactions. It's like me watching someone praising like the first Zelda for NPC dialogue. It's like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because I don't think they have a lot of dialogue, sir. I don't think these NPCs are that smart. I did! People can find those games entertaining. They do! Maybe it's because... Maybe I'm like this because they port Skyrim to every system. They port Skyrim to every system. Let's check this out. I need to figure out. I gave up after. There was a fucking staircase. Yeah, that's something that can break you. But I'm just saying. It looks okay. I can always clean it up and post a bit. Post always helps. But yeah, no. I'm just saying, they port it to every system, and to me, when did Skyrim come out? Skyrim original release date. 2011. Even that seems like a little late to me. There were other games in 2011. And granted, none of the ones I'm thinking of are open world, so I'll give you that. But I mean, honestly, I'm not even harking about like open world design. I'm just harking about how dumb the NPCs are, which everyone knows. I'm not saying new things. I'm just reiterating what people have said before about Skyrim being a real dumb game. Not in gameplay, just literally a dumb game. You know how the Alien and Alien Isolation, that fun game we played, you know how that like learns from how you do things and in time, you know, adjusts to you and becomes a much smarter AI? Skyrim is the opposite. Skyrim is a game where the AI gets even dumber as you do dumber things. The AI in Skyrim sees all your mistakes and is like, you know what? Let's roll it. It's like an improv group. Skyrim doesn't want to see the player and be like, oh no. Skyrim wants to yes and the player so fucking hard. Excuse me. Crouch behind wall. Wait, repeat. Yeah, that's Fallout. I guess I'm using Skyrim as like a catch-all term right now. Also, hi, Bubbles. Like, did you just very obviously put poison into that man's soup as he was sitting there? You have a oh, you're right. You can shoot in both. Well, I'm not gonna. Well, I guess you were crouching, so let's play along with it. I know very little about Skyrim. I do know the Dragonborn is like, you know, an incredibly powerful warrior and is meant to save Skyrim, blah blah blah. Everyone is so convinced of the headcanon I'm making now is that everyone is so convinced with that they never want to, like, they are willing to dumb themselves down to make the Dragonborn look even better. Can I help you, traveler? They're like, we need this person so bad that no matter how much dumb bad stuff they do, we're just gonna play along. 'Cause we're so desperate. We're so desperate. Dragonborn, you are just crouching right now. That's not sneaking, but we need you to do the story events, so we'll play along. 3 days in jail. Yeah, how much time do you think you should get in jail for killing an entire family? 4? Yeah, you know what? Sure. We don't want to stop you from whatever important thing it is you're doing. Definitely. Definitely you're doing something important that will save the entire kingdom. 3 whole days. What? You didn't want to sit in jail for 3 days? So now you've broken out? Yeah, okay. That's fine, I guess. You don't need to stay in there that long. Yeah. You're right. They just yes and so hard. It's a little sad. Every quote-unquote bad guy in Skyrim is just sick of the Dragonborn shit, and everyone else is willing to fabricate entire ruses around what makes them bad, so that the Dragonborn believes it and doesn't buy into them, like, you know, buy into them telling the Dragonborn to fuck off. Oh, I'm doing a bad job. Okay, here's the thing. This is worse. What I was doing before was bad. This is worse. Oh, this is 100% worse. Okay, never mind. We're not doing this anymore. Throwing that out. Looking forward to seeing the finished SCP. I have none. Oh, you're talking about the thing. That'll take... Alphonse, you're going to be waiting a while. When you meet a big eel and its teeth are like steel, that's amore. I rather have these kind of weird transition ones that look a bit off, as opposed to just fully bad things that make it like... I'd rather have the eel shifting and morphing, as opposed to kind of like, you know, jittering. I don't want a jittering eel. I don't care what the salesman says. This eel will not stand. We have theoretically 4 more frames till the first turn. I think I'll probably... What time is it? Nah, I'll keep working for a bit. I'll keep working for a while. It's always hard for me, right? Because, like, theoretically, I guess if I just lived alone, I could just stream myself working 24/7. Especially, honestly, that's my dream scenario. Just being like, I'm just going to chill forever and stream most of it. That's unhealthy. Don't do that. But regardless, I'd be able to do longer streams is what I'm saying. No, I'm not. I guess what I'm saying is like headphones and hair stream, yeah. I usually have like earpods in, but I left them in my car and I didn't feel like going out to get them. Um, but no, I wouldn't stream all of it, but I'd have like I would love to have like very long streams, like, you know, like basically a full work shift in one stream where I can get animation done. And then after a while, you have a full animation from me, fully documented on how I did so. I think that would be fun for me. But unfortunately, I have other things to do in life. If Twitch was my work and you have imminent danger. Oh no, AirPods. No, not AirPods, just earpods. If anything, probably easier to warn me with earpods than it is with headphones. So, check and mate, atheist. Excuse me. If God doesn't exist, then how do you explain penguins? Checkmate, atheist. There's so many, you know, not to get it too into it. There's so many things that there's so many things like that post, and I can't tell how many of them are ironic. Like sometimes I will start a right-winged post thinking it's a shit post and then realizing how serious they are. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh no. You can't. Please, for your own good, don't. I'd recommend stop. Stop is good for when you just need to not do that anymore. Talk to your doctor about stop today. Stop, sir. Huh? Say, fellas. Done. Done. Mickey? Michael Mouse? Done. Mention the someone. My voice is destroyed. I can't. It's hard for me to do I can do an okay Mickey Mouse impression on good days. Not when my voice is destroyed, though. Oh, say, fellas, someone mentioned the door to darkness. There. That's about as good as you're getting for today. Until I lube up my throat again. Dun, lube up your throat. Dun, lube up your throat. Dun, lube up your throat. To the lube store. Okay. If you have a sore throat, does drinking lube make it better? Scientists ask. Should I see my medical professional about this? Probably. I'm gonna do it anyway, though. Please don't drink lube. Most lube is consumable, as far as I'm aware. Well, yes, okay. Many lubes are water-based, I hear. So, I guess. Juice is concerned. Juice, do you have much medical practice and or lube experience? Please answer for the class. Juice, I don't like that look. I have to rub the lube. Okay, in my throat. There's no way you'd be able to get something down my throat like that. Stop joking, Alphonse. I miss out. Mishaps? Juice, I asked for experience. What do you mean, mishaps? With enough lube, you can. Juice, now I'm afraid. You've had full-on... Have you... Juice, would you even say you've had kerfuffle? Neither confirm nor to... Juice, would you say there's the possibility you might even have had a lube kerfuffle? A full-on guffaw of lube? Is that a possibility? Let me get that from here for Mickey Mouse. I was saying I can't do a good Mickey voice until my throat is lubed. Keep up. Man, I can't turn this into my school for sure, huh? For sure? They're not gonna watch it all. You could say that if I was confirming or denying, but okay, let me ask you this. Could you deny? Could you definitely deny you had a kerfuffle? Yes or no on the record? Would a kerfuffle could be fully denied? Okay, well, Juice has pleaded the fifth, meaning that the answer is yes. No one's pleaded the fifth, and the answer is no. Unless you're playing some real mind games. Then no one's pleaded the fifth and being like, well, yeah, I was innocent. I just didn't want to talk to you. I know that's kind of a dangerous mindset to get into. The idea of like, oh, if you have nothing to hide, then blank, blank, blank. But at the same time, come on. I'm right about that, and you know it. Oh, are you a lawyer person? I mean, I guess not yet. Stealth, will you be Stealth Esquire soon? Or are you not taking that kind of course? I don't know what you need to get the title Esquire. I only recently learned that Esquire meant lawyer. So, 7.5. Does that mean I'm guilty? It depends. No. Because here's the thing. You want... Sis, do you want the tea? Do you want the tea, sis? I don't know if that was about... Only anarchy and kangaroos. This is a kangaroo court. Well, gold is here, so yes. The tea is that society has made a lot of legitimately okay things, quote-unquote, shameful. Meaning that to some people, they will, you know, try and hide things that really don't need to be hid. Being a furry is one example. So, with that in mind, yeah, there are things people want to hide. Also, let's be honest, even if society wasn't fucked, and more things were okay that should be okay, there's still some things you want to keep to yourself. Some things you don't want on the record. For whatever reason. You're just like, this is a me thing. I need people not to know about it. And listen, it's chill. As long as it's not hurting anyone, who gives a diddly dang? But still, it's pretty incriminating to plead the fifth. Also, isn't the fifth specifically you can't say shit until your lawyer gets there? Which means the fifth isn't as good as it as all encompassing as it seems, because I mean the moment your lawyer gets there you're gonna have to spill some beans. It's like, I'd like my lawyer here for this. Okay, well they're here, and well, I still don't want to say something. Is there a fifth the second? Can I have a second the fifth? That just lets me stay quiet? Thing are me things that no one needs to know about. I don't know. Gold, I was about to get sappy about that, but you know what? I will just say that if you want to keep things to yourself, it's totes cool. I get it. Because everyone has a right to privacy. And piracy. Everyone has the right to become a pirate. Yarr. How? Okay. I mean, that still does mean that you don't have to talk until your lawyer gets there. Gold, dress it up however you want. I'm still not talking until my lawyer gets here. You won't hear a peep out of Cahill until my lawyer arrives. Not a word. There's no proof that I murdered my wife. And I won't give you anything to prove that I did murder my wife until my lawyer gets here. And when they do, you will be so convinced that I wasn't the one who actually murdered my wife that you'll feel silly for even insinuating that I murdered my wife. My wife. This goes, what? Yeah. I mean, listen, Gold, that's fine. But it doesn't change the fact that my lawyer is going to help me convince you that I so didn't murder my wife that the notion that I did, in fact, murder my wife will be totally just out of the realm of possibility. Oh, you need my name for the record? It's O.J. Simpson. Thank you. And scene. Oop. I like to imagine that's actually what it was like when they were taking him to prison. Just constantly spouting about how his lawyer... Wait, wasn't his friend that he also murdered his lawyer? Was it? Did I imagine that? Did O.J. Simpson murder his lawyer? Was it just his friend? No, wait, I'm thinking of Kardashian. That's who his lawyer was. I was like, something was up with his lawyer, and I was like, oh yeah. Launched a TV series. Which is, I mean, it's a weird way to follow up on the person who probably defended a murderer. Stealth, I've definitely... No, wait, Stealth's gone. Whoops. Oh my goodness.
A member of the I Am Beautiful.
What made you think you should keep going, Ad? Ad, I will you up.
Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh my fuck it. Okay, well this isn't what I wanted. I love the Super Mario Galaxy music. I don't just want to go through the whole OST. I want a curated experience, dang it. Cahill has no music taste. I need you to have music taste for me. That's why I go to YouTube and don't just make music playlist myself. Also, can I ask something? I don't usually ask for on-the-spot reviews. Was that OJ bit funny? I thought it was pretty clever. It wasn't supposed to be about OJ Simpson at the start, but dang it, we got there, didn't we? We sure did get there. Listen, not to toot my own horn, I thought it was pretty okay. As I did a chuckle, I liked it. Thank you. That is, oh my goodness, that is just such fucking, like, you just practiced a stand-up routine for family. 7 out of 10 would laugh again. Like, they didn't actually laugh, but they tell you, like, yeah, that was pretty good. Oof, you can't practice. Listen, if y'all think stand-up is the worst, practicing stand-up is probably even worse than that. Just inherent. Because, like, who are you? Because here's the reality. Either you practice stand-up and it's in front of a stranger, which at that point, you're just doing your stand-up routine. Or you practice in front of someone you know, and, like, they're either going to humor you, or they're just going to have, like, you know, a different sense of humor, or blah, blah, blah. There's a million things could go wrong trying to practice stand-up. So just be a Twitch streamer instead. You don't need to know how to do comedy for that. You just kind of need to shit out your mouth until something happens. Let's see. Ugh. We got 5 viewers. I'm gonna rate Copper. I'm a rate Copper. Also, I count as a viewer, I think, because Alphonse rated me and I had the stream open. Whoops. Time to rate a Copper. Thank you all for joining me today. Been a pretty fun stream. We will basically just kind of continue what we were doing today tomorrow. So, I hope you all had fun, and I'll see you later. Bye.